Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Here's where I want to start with this, guys. The Big East. We've seen Seton Hall climb up to the top of the conference. We've seen St. John's look like a real threat to win the league. We know how good UConn is. We know how good that Creighton is now that they've figured some things out. Villanova, who we had all written off, they're still sitting there at 4-2 in the conference. I know Tyler loves Creighton. Here's my hot take. Here's my overreaction. It is the Big East, not the Big 12, that is actually the best conference in college basketball. Jerel, you are a Big East guy. You got that Marquette hat on right now. You are sitting in a city where it is -9 degrees and there is nothing more Big East than -9 degrees outside. Am I right here? Back me up. Come on. The Big East is better than the Big 12. What do you say?
You're spot on. It's the best basketball conference in the country. And it's because the Big East has put priority on basketball, which is cool to see, man. And I think it's really paying off for them. Obviously, there are some other really good conferences. The Big 12 is really good, but a lot of these conferences this year are kind of top heavy. And as you see early on, just throughout the Big East play, it's a gauntlet, man. You don't know what's gonna happen on a night-to-night basis. When you going in and you got to go play Seton Hall at Seton Hall or go play St. John's at the small gym and you're not at the Garden, those type of things, man. Those games are never easy. All of these teams have something to fight for. We have a ton of teams that are kind of like in the balance right now, and fringe NCAA tournament teams. So everybody's looking for that next statement win. And then you got the upper echelon teams, the UConns, the Creightons, the Marquettes. And now the St. John's, even, who got the number next to their name. So those opportunities are going to be out there, man. But it's really cool to see. I think it's a no-brainer. I think the Big East is hands down the best conference in the country this year.
Tyler?
I used to not like all the Big East love, and I used to find ways to kind of hate on the Big East because you guys talk so much about how good of a basketball conference you are. But you guys are the best basketball conference in the country this year, and I can't argue with that. I think there's multiple teams in the Big East when I look at it who can make runs. I believe in Marquette, and I think Villanova could be one of those teams as well. They're sneaky. They can beat teams. They have players, but also Creighton is a team who I believe in, and also I do think Creighton will make a deep tournament run. But also UConn, I consider UConn the best team in the country. I love the way they play. I don't think there's a harder playing team out there than UConn. And also St. John's. I mean, you can't ever count a Rick Pitino team out the way they play. So it is intriguing to me. And if I had to pick a conference to watch exclusively for the year, it would be the Big East. And I'm taking that, obviously I would pick the ACC if I wasn't so tied to my Tar Heels, but the Big East is the best this year. I mean, there's a lot of quality teams in there. And I also believe there are multiple teams in the Big East that can make the Final Four. When I look at the Big 12, I think Houston has a shot. I think Kansas has a shot. Outside of that, I think, there's teams in there that can make runs, but I'm not sold on those teams, and I'm not as confident as I am in some of the teams in the Big East.
All right. So I think that the chat in general is probably going to say that I'm a homer when I say that I think I tend to lean towards the Big East here when it comes to the best conference in the sport. I think the teams at the top are better than the teams at the top of the Big 12 because I'm not as high on Kansas as some people are. I'm not as high on Houston as some people are. I do think that a lot of the teams in the middle are the metrics are inflated. I'm not buying BYU as the 11th best team in college basketball the way that KenPom has them ranked. And I'm not sure I'm even ready to buy Oklahoma as a top 25 team at this point. I'm not buying Texas as the number 42 team in college basketball. And I think when you look at the bottom of the league, as bad as DePaul is and as much trouble as Georgetown's going to have winning this year, I think there are more teams at the bottom of the Big 12 that are I don't want to say pushovers, but that aren't going to be as competitive as what you see in the bottom of the Big East. So I think I would tend to lean towards there, but I'll tell you what, man, the fact that we're even having this conversation tells you how good the improvement of the Big East, no matter where where you lie in this conversation. The one thing I would say as well is Texas Tech, Iowa State, TCU. I kind of want to see where they end up shaking out as the season continues to progress, because if they're as good as they've looked in certain instances this season, then this might end up being a silly conversation. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.